Okay, Shalom Akim. Call him La Yahaba Shem Yashab Bashem Kakudash and double on Instagrams and apostles. Thought the Shah for the strength in order to make this video. And Yara Tazar that you're edifying, man, which means to build up. When we say Kal Halalim La, we're saying all praises to in the ancient Hebrew. And when we say Yahweh, that's the name of the Most High. The world ignorantly calls him God. But his name Yahweh means he is, he exists, or he is to be. And when we say Ba Hashem, we're saying in the name. Ba means in, Ha means the, Sham, S-H-A-M, which is modern terms, they would say Shem, but it's really rooted in the ancient Hebrew, which is Sham, S-H-A-M, which means name. So in the name, and then we say Yahweh Shai. So when we say Yahweh Ba Hashem Yahweh Shai, we're saying Yahweh through Yahweh Shai, or Yahweh in the name Yahweh Shai, because it's through Yahweh Shai, that's how we get to Yahweh. And Yahweh Shai means he delivers, Yah meaning he, and then Yahweh Shai going into deliverance, to deliver, because that's going to be the role of Yahweh Shai when it comes to bringing in the elect into the chariots of salvation, as mentioned in, as hinted at really in Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5 verse 1 to 3, about the mystery of the salvation. But anyways, the topic of today's video, that was a brief introduction in the ancient Hebrew there. In case you hear, brother, for any new brothers that may hear that, But anyways, the point of this video is that Joseph was tested for suffering wrongfully. Because, as you read through, certain chapters of the book, there are certain lessons to be learned as well. They're not just, stories for the sake of, interest, man. Such as, the way Yahweh Shai also told stories, well, I say stories, but parables, of which only those who had the Ruach Kodash, which means the Holy Spirit, Ha means the, Racha means spirit, and Kodash means holy. So the Holy Spirit. The thing is, only those that had that understanding were able to interpret what he really meant and the true meaning of the parables that he was saying. Everyone else that was in the crowd, when they were listening to Yahweh Shai, they weren't able to actually comprehend what he was saying at a deeper level. But for us, who Yahweh Shai has entrusted with this truth, with his word, the thing is, he's given us the ability to understand it, so we can go deeper within the scriptures, man. That's why, eventually, after understanding the basics, the milk of the scriptures, you then get into the meat as well, man. The deeper stuff of the scriptures, which goes into darker sayings, parables, as it mentions Proverbs chapter 1, about being able to understand dark sayings. That's the point of the wisdom of these scriptures. But, Yara Tazar, I'm going to read pretty much the whole chapter, Genesis 39, because that's really the main focus. And then as I do so, I'm also bringing out other precepts to support certain points that's being made here as well. So, let's just get with it. So Genesis 39 and verse 1, it says here, and Joseph was brought down to Egypt, and Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh, captain of the guard, an Egyptian, bought him of the hands of the Ishmaelites who had brought him down thither. So of course, remember when he was sold to the Ishmaelites, man, prior, through his brothers, before he was then brought to Egypt, man, and the Ishmaelites then resold him again to this officer right here, called Potiphar. So that was the beginning of Joseph's journey there. So verse 2, and the Lord Yahweh was with Joseph, and he was a prosperous man, and he was in the house of his master the Egyptian. And his master saw that the Lord Yahweh was with him, and that Yahweh made all that he did to prosper in his hand. So of course the Lord Yahweh was with him, man. He had the spirit, that spirit of grace and favoritism from the Most High with him, man. That's the thing. That's like the way those of us in this truth, as we also, suffer for Yahweh Shai's sake as well as endure whatever afflictions that we've got to endure through. Yahweh Shem Shai will give you seasons where he will also give you grace, man. Where it's like, okay, he's gonna show you some favor, man. Maybe a little help here and there when you may need help, whether it's be financially or maybe even just emotional support as well from the brotherhood too. That could be something as well. And, whatever, mental state of adversity you may be in, Yahweh Shem Yashai will give you, a way out, really. It's just, at the end of the day, most of the time, it's just a test of faith, to enhance you, obviously, to trust more in Yahweh Shem Yashai ultimately. So again, verse 3, it says in Genesis 39:3, and his master saw that the Lord Yahweh was with him. So, of course, he had that spiritual aura, that he could, other spirit, his master Potiphar could see the spirit within him, man. He could discern there was something about Joseph. He says, saw that Yahweh was with him, and that the Lord Yahweh made all that he did to prosper in his hand. So, of course, he was like that, the world may call it a lucky charm for people. People may say, this person just entered into my life and then everything just started to go so well. It could be, a man. Well, for us, really, we're really those men. We're likened onto Joseph here, man, because, we are servants of Yahweh Shem Yashai. So, of course, we'll also have that same favor as well. And we have to have faith and believe in that too, man. Because sometimes brothers, in this truth may have a problem with self-doubt. I know me personally, especially, when beginning in this truth, when you're building up your confidence as well, that can be a problem, man. That's why you got to pray for strength. And also, brothers will help to bring you up, to have, as a, the captain of the, captain said, about having that godly confidence, man, when we're having a little after camp talk. But yeah, it's true. You can have a godly confidence about you, which is obviously applying wisdom whilst having really a high level of faith, because confidence really is just having a high level of faith. Godly confidence, again, that's a very high level of faith, man. It's like, the power that's backing you. That's the type of faith. When a person has confidence because, they either have like a good looking physique or something, so they can approach a girl or something like that. That's one aspect. Or, they got all the competent skills, to sell themselves for an employer or, to get a client or something. Then yeah, that type of confidence is the same way we gotta have that confidence when thinking of Yahweh Yahushua, because they're our power source. When you have a power source that's beyond anything upon this earth, and of course is undefeatable, unstoppable, it's like, come on now. You gotta have some godly confidence in. So, Joseph would have had that as well. And he had the favor and the grace of Yahweh Shem Yashai, as we're reading here. And it says in verse 4, he even says it here, verse 4. It says in Genesis 39:4, and Joseph found grace in his sight, and he served him, and he made him overseer over his house, and all that he had put, let me read that again. Let me read it again. Genesis 39:4, and Joseph found grace, which goes into favor, in his sight, and he served him. He made him overseer over his house. So Joseph was now the overseer over the house of Potiphar, the Egyptian officer. So it says, and all that he had, he put into his hand. So of course, Joseph was seen as a very trustworthy person, man, under Potiphar, man. That's the type of spirit that he was in. Even in this truth as well, I don't know if brothers have experienced this, when, you may be even at workplace, for me personally, at school, certain people, when you talk to them, you may just, give a little hello, maybe strangers or something, maybe even a stranger in the street as well, but for some reason, some of them just want to pour out their heart for you. It's like, you may be in a rush to go somewhere, but some of them, they just want to flip in, talk to you, and then, be confident in the spirit. But that's because of the spirit that Yahweh Shem Yashai has placed upon you, man. When you got the favor and the grace of Yahweh Shem Yashai, certain spirits around you will also sense it too. Some people want to have that healing. And that's why even just the little things that, someone standing next to you, like so close to you as well, that could be a little thing where they need some healing, man. They need that healing. That's the thing. I'm talking about people of the world, when they stand next to a man of Yahweh Shem Yashai, which is us who are doing the work of Yahweh Shai, that's given to us. Again, producing these videos, going to camp to preach, and of course, collecting whatever fruit that we can, whilst we do so, man. But, with that spirit, that comes with grace being given unto us, and faith being boosted through the power of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. And of course, other people want to, benefit from that as well. They want to get some healing. Some people want to get some therapy type of session. Just not pouring out their heart. I mean, certain brothers may have experienced it, certain brothers may not. But the point is, that spirit that is within you, people find comfort when they're in your presence, man. That's the thing. So it says, and that's the way Joseph was right here, man. Hence why he had that trustworthy spirit. That's the point. All right, so verse even at workplace as well, man. Certain brothers may experience where, because I think brothers have told me, certain things about, in the workplace, a certain boss will actually trust them to do things more than all the other employees, man. Because brothers have that trustworthy spirit. It's all part of their innate nature of the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yashai putting the Harakah Kodash within us, the Holy Spirit within us, having that trustworthiness. That's the point. But ultimately, and I think, despite having that nature, though, in the time Yaratazar, when the MOT comes out, everything's going to be ditched, man. That's why I say Yaratazar. So it's like all the things of the world are just disposable. So that's just the balancing effect of what I said about having that trustworthy spirit. Because the only one who's really going he really should fully profit from it is Yahweh Shai, because he's our master, not the bosses that we work for, in this world. The people who we do trade with or whatnot that you work for. No. That's only for a temporary time. Of course, try and leverage off of your trust, but that's only a temporary time, man. Anyways, verse 4 again, Genesis 39:4, and Joseph found grace in his sight, and he served him, and he made him overseer over his house, and all that he had he put in his hand. Again, trustworthiness. Verse 5, and it came to pass from the time that he had made him overseer in his house and over all that he had, that the Lord Yahweh blessed the Egyptian's house for Joseph's sake. And the blessing of the Lord Yahweh was upon all that he had in the house and in the field. See, for Joseph's sake, Yahweh blessed, the Egyptian's house, man. That's the thing. Just like, that could be applied in the modern day sense as well. Brothers may, may either be at the workplace, certain, the company in itself may even prosper just for the fact that you're present in that company, man. And then shortly after, let's say you get another job that's more willing to pay you more. Let's say you get that other job. Then the company you left, that company could just diminish and then just fade away like dust, man. Because all of this it would have been because of your sake, through Yahweh Shai having favor towards you, grace towards you, man. It's like this thing is taking another tangent, because I was going to speak about suffering wrongfully, man. But, we'll include both. Yaratazar. But, that's what the Spirit is saying right now, man. Because this is the beginning. But I'm going to still get to those precepts as well. All right, so verse 5, Genesis 39:5, and it came to pass from the time that he had made him overseer in his house and over all that he had, that the Lord Yahweh blessed the Egyptians' house for Joseph's sake, man. And the blessing of the Lord Yahweh was upon all that he had in the house and in the field. So of course, man, brothers having that grace of Yahweh Hashem Yashai can be literal walking blessings for other vessels that may be in your own perimeter, man. It could be family, they will have blessings because of you, and then what the thing with the demons is, they're trying, for certain ones, they might try and put you down and then put you in that lowly state. Whereas it's Yahweh Hashem Yashai be working with you, but the thing is, the family don't realize that. That's why they just put you down, man. But that's the demons utilizing their vessel in order to put you down, not realizing that you're actually the key to the blessings that they're receiving as well. That's family. It could be, again, the workplace or school or wherever you are, typical, maybe old friends of the world as well. But the point is that even typical strangers as well, man, they may come to you and, be comforted by you, man. Again, because of that spirit that Yahweh Hashem Yashai has given you. Anyways, verse 6, and he left all that he had in Joseph's hand. He left all that he had in Joseph's hand. So that's how much trust that Potiphar had in Joseph, man. And he knew not aught he had, save the bread which he did eat. So of course, that goes into, because what that could be going into is really where it says save the bread which he did eat. Let me read in the NLT just to clarify, because I think that mentions about the food, Joseph being careful of the food, because obviously Egyptians are heathens, by the way, and of course they'll be eating heathenistic foods, of which are not in Israelite culture. So that's probably what that's going into. Because here, what verse is that? Verse 6, yeah. Because here in the NLT, let me check that. So here in the NLT, it says, Genesis 39:6, so Potiphar gave Joseph complete administrative responsibility, again, overseer, over everything he owned. With Joseph there, he didn't worry about a thing except what kind of food to eat. Joseph was a very handsome and well-built young man. But the point is where it says with Joseph there, he didn't worry about a thing except what kind of food to eat. So of course, again, as I said, it could have been a case where, Joseph was, obviously being a Hebrew Israelite, he would have had customs, to follow Yahweh, man, in terms of dietary laws. And of course, the heathens, they will have their own food too. Or you could just see it as a general sense where, just choosing what to eat, would have been Potiphar's decision. But everything else, Joseph was doing a cool job with. So I'll read verse 6 again in the KJV. So Genesis 39:6. And he left all that he had in Joseph's hand, and he knew not aught he had save the bread which he did eat. And Joseph was a goodly person and well favored. Again, that's what grace means. The grace of Yahweh Shem Yahushai means to be favored by Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All these Christians saying they're favored. Now we're gonna see whether you're favored, when you're tested in Jacob's trouble. And in the time of famine, in the time of pestilence, in the time of really great tribulation. That's what that goes into in Jeremiah 30:7. We're gonna see whether you're greatly favored, man. Only those who have the names Yahweh Yahushai and have been doing the works and pleasing Yahweh Yahushai will be able to see the profitability of the favor of Yahweh. That's just the way I could put it there. Of Yahweh Bashim Yahshua. Now, verse 7, this is the key part from here on. This is when the temptation came in. All right, so verse 7, Genesis 39:7. And it came to pass after these things that his master's wife, so Potiphar's wife, cast her eyes upon Joseph, and she said, lie with me. So that was a demon that hopped on her, to try unsuccessfully attempt to make Joseph to commit adultery, which is a madness. Because, Joseph knew with the reasoning of the scriptures, man, you can't be looking at another man's wife. And in fact, I'm going to get a precept, because I said I was going to get precepts as I read this too. So Ecclesiasticus chapter 9 and verse 5. It says, gaze not on a maid, that thou fall not by those things that are precious unto her. Of course, the typical things of which attract the eyes of men, the breasts, of course, the bum as well. Those are things of which can be considered precious, of course, more so the breasts. But yeah, it says, gaze not on a maid. And that's the mad thing as well, because nowadays, we live in a society where, they actually show those precious things, man, in order to entice men, to lie with them. Whether it be those of whom already are, have a husband, or those of whom, maybe single, they're in that, temptation and lustful spirit, to attempt to test or not. Really, all in all, that can be a test, for the men of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, but really we overcome that through the power of Yahweh Yahushua. But, for those of the world, though, they'll be easily give into that as well, man, because they ain't got the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. They ain't got the strong will that has been bestowed upon them. Anyways, so once again, Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach, chapter 9, verse 5, gaze not on a maid, that thou fall not by those things that are precious in her, man. Now, it don't mean brothers ain't gonna look though. Of course, because the thing is, nowadays, because of the fact that women, they have that freedom to just walk around here and there, of course, your eyes are still going flipping catch some things, man, of which may be attracted to your eye. Of course, when you see, one that's linked with another man, you start, okay, let them do their thing, you cast your eyes away, man. But of course, you may see one of them just on the road. You don't know whether she got someone. So bros may look at times as well. But the point is, you don't get too sucked into that. That's the thing. Don't get too sucked into the gazing and all her parts and whatnot. How beautiful she's looking. No, no, no. That's the point right there. So that really goes into, having a disciplined mind as well. Because this day and age, man, this is also another reason why your house needs to come back, man. So that everything's just reset and put in order. Because right now everything's people think things are in order right now just because Esau's in rulership and certain things look the way they look, in America or UK. But you can see the downfall coming, man. Everything is in disorder right now until Yahushua fixes things up. When Yahushua comes back to fix things up, you will know what true order is. We will all truly comprehend that. So we'll see that in the time to come, Yaratazar, man. That we get into those charts and then we witness Yahushua as he does this. We'll also partake in keeping that order as well, and also building up that order. Right. So this is that was there. Let me read a bit more from Genesis 39. Then I'm gonna get back to Ecclesiasticus and get a few more precepts. Yaratazar. Right. So this is Genesis 39 and verse. I'll read verse 7 again. Genesis 39 and 7. And it came to pass after these things that his master's wife cast her eyes upon Joseph, and she said, lie with me. Again, trying to tempt Joseph to commit adultery. Verse 8, but he refused and said unto his master's wife, behold, my master wotteth not what is with me in the house, and he hath committed all that he hath to my hand. So Joseph was saying, he's trusting me with everything, man. I can't do this type of thing to my master, man. That ain't the way to go. That's what Joseph was saying. Verse 9, there is none greater in this house than I, neither hath he kept back anything from me. So of course, Joseph was saying about the amount of trust. Joseph knew the amount of trust that Potiphar had with him, man. The things that he would have told him, things that he would have entrusted for him to do in terms of action-based things, responsibility over the household. That's what I'm saying. So verse 9 again, Genesis 39 and 9, there is none greater in this house than I, neither hath he kept back anything from me. But thee, because thou art his wife, how then can I do this great wickedness and sin against the Most High? So of course, Joseph would have been reasoning, with of course, considering Yahweh, in mind, man. And all the laws and the statutes and commandments, man, that of course he would have been taught and, brought up with, man. Yeah. But the point is, he was reasoning with the Most High in mind. And of course, same way we got to reason with same way we got to reason with the scriptures as well, as we absorb them. And of course we absorb them by reading them, studying, and of course being taught by the apostles, and of course elder brothers, man, the true breakdowns of these scriptures. Alright, so Ecclesiasticus chapter 9 and verse 9. Sit not, so this would have been Joseph's reasoning, man. Hence why he kept resisting against Potiphar's wife and adultery, because that was a demon that entered Potiphar's wife. Man. So Ecclesiasticus 9 and 9, also known as Sirach 9 and 9, 9 and verse 9. Sit not at all with another man's wife, nor sit down with her in thine arms, and spend not thy money with her at the wine, lest thine heart incline unto her, and so through thy desire thou fall into destruction. Because of course, from the adultery, that'll just lead to further destruction, man. Because that's another man's possession right there, man. That person is meddling with. And that right there would have been Joseph's reasoning. Hence why he wouldn't want to do wickedness, as it said in verse 9. Genesis 39:9. It says, "How then can I do this great wickedness and sin against the Most High?" No, it's through the Spirit as well, man. Because, for brothers who are into numerology, I remember a brother also sent me like years ago what the numbers mean, man. And 9 means foundation as well. That's the thing. And of course, what is the foundation? It's the scriptures. So of course, Joseph would have been thinking about the foundation in order to basically resist against Potiphar's wife's temptation. All right, so verse 10, Genesis 39:10, "And it came to pass as she spake to Joseph day by day, that he hearkened not unto her, to lie by her, or to be with her. And it came to pass about this time that Joseph went into the house to do his business, and there was none of the men of the house there within. And she caught by him." Hold on. So verse 11, let's start from verse 11. Genesis 39:11. "And it came to pass about this time that Joseph went in to the house to do his business, and there was none of the men of the house there within." So of course there would have been no witnesses, man. There would have been no witnesses. Now verse 12, "And she caught him with his garment, saying, Lie with me." So she was getting aggressive with it now, man. The demon was trying to get stronger, flipping like, "All right, come here." That's the madness. That's the madness. But yeah, it says, "And she caught him with his garment, saying," that's how strong the demon can be upon, the weaker vessels, man. The scriptures say. And just try to get that quickly as well. On the women being, you gotta respect them as on to being a weaker vessel, because that's what they are, man. Which means if they've got a weaker vessel, it means they're more subject to demons. Their vessel, their bodies are more open to receiving demons. That's what I'm trying to say. Get some clarity here. It's a weaker vessel. Right. So it says in 1 Peter 3 verse 7, "Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered." So of course it states right there that you give honor unto them as unto a weaker vessel, man. So of course, you always gotta remember that when you're dealing with a woman, man. So where was that? And that's why, she had that demon on her, Potiphar's wife. Now, where was that? Oh, yeah, verse 12. So Genesis 39:12, "And she caught him by his garment, saying, Lie with me. And he left his garment in her hand and fled and got him out. And it came to pass, when she saw that he had left his garment in her hand and was fled forth, that she called unto the men her house." So basically, as soon Joseph, he took a runner, man. He took a run. It's like he was like, "No way am I going to get caught into this nonsense." So he left, and it says in verse 14 that she called unto the men of her house. He left. So okay, if I said she, because Joseph was the one who did the runner. Now verse 14, that she called unto the men of her house and spake unto them, saying, See, he hath brought in an Hebrew unto us to mock us, which was a dark lie. That was a lie that she did there. "He came in unto me to lie with me, and I cried with a loud voice." Again, a dark lie. And it said in verse 15, "And it came to pass, when he heard that I lifted up my voice and cried, that he left his garment with me and fled and got him out. And she laid up his garment by her until her Lord came home." So again, it was a flipping lie. Just from the word of her lips, man, it caused, Joseph this flipping, as we're going to read eventually, I'm going to have to do a part 2, so keep it digestible. Joseph getting cast into prison, man. But anyways, in verse 17 it says, And she spake unto him according to these words, saying, The Hebrew servant which thou hast brought unto us came in unto me to mock me. And it came to pass, as I lift up my voice and cried, that he left his garment with me and fled out. Come on. It says, and it came to pass when his master heard the words of his wife, which she spake unto him, saying, After this manner did thy servant to me, that his wrath was kindled. So of course Potiphar was fuming. And you can see why he was fuming, man. Because if you hear that type of information, after entrusting everything that you've trusted to give to Joseph, is that who wouldn't be angry? So rightfully so, his anger was there, but it was based upon a lie that his wife gave him. Potiphar's wife gave him. So that's a madness in itself, man. So let me just get a few precepts here, then Yaratazar. I'm gonna do a part 2 again. I'm gonna do a part 2. Right, so let's get first bit 2, I think. As I named the video, it's like this part of the video, really, I've been mentioning about the grace, that was upon Joseph. But now, shortly in the part 2, Yaratazar, I'm gonna then bring out the precepts related to suffering wrongfully, which this is one of them. Let's get to it. I think it should be in 1 Peter 2. Hold up. It's gonna be in 1 Peter 2 verse 9 or something. No, that's not 1 Peter 2 and 9. Let me check again. Oh, okay. Alright, so it says here in 1 Peter 2, I'll read from verse 18 because it's related to Joseph's story in chapter 39. So 1 Peter 2 and verse 18, servants, be subject to your masters with all fear, not only to the good and gentle, but also to the froward man. That also links with agree with thine enemy quickly as well. Matthew 5 and 25. But that's only for a certain season and for certain scenarios. Because we know when the MOT comes out, it's like, look, man, no, you stay over there with that shit, and we're going to be with Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And of course, Yaratazar will maintain that strong will to resist Esau Edom in the time to come. So verse 19, 1 Peter 2 and 19, which is the key part, for this is thankworthy. And of course, before that, and that's the mentality that Joseph had, man. He was subject unto his master, Potiphar. Until that time where he got flipping falsely accused, which I'm going to get into in verse 19. So 1 Peter 2 and 19, for this is thankworthy, if a man for conscience towards the Most High, so if he's considering Yahweh Shem Yahushua in their mind, endure grief, suffering wrongfully. And that's the point. It's thankworthy, man, which means obviously Yahweh Shem Yahushua will be grateful for you to even just suffer that, man. Suffering wrongfully, you get falsely accused of something, but you just endure through it. That's what Joseph had to go through. In verse 20, it says in 1 Peter 2 and 20, for what glory is it, if when ye be buffeted for your faults, ye shall take and suffer it, ye take it patiently, this is acceptable with the Most High. So of course, just let me even read that in the NLT as well. Go get that in the NLT, man. 1 Peter 2, 19. This is thankworthy. Because of course it's like, alright, so you have because it takes a stronger vessel to also endure these things, man. To suffer injustice or suffer or as the scripture says, suffer wrongfully. Something that you don't really deserve it. Well, you didn't really do something to justify for you receiving whatever is about to happen. But you still got to go through it as well. It takes a very strong mind, man. It's like just to brush it off and You know, I just suffer because of Yahweh Shem Yahshua, man. It's like a test of character as well. Alright, so I said NLT, didn't I? First Peter 2 and 19. Let me actually, what was it? Not even First Peter 2 and 20. That was the one I wanted to get in the NLT. So in the NLT, First Peter 2 and 20, it says here, of course, you get no credit for being patient if you are beaten for doing wrong. But if you suffer for doing good and endure it patiently, the Most High is pleased with you, because you've shown the character trait of being able to endure false accusations as well, which is part of suffering wrongfully as well. And enduring patience, man. This patience goes into long suffering. But anyways, Yaratas, I'm gonna do a part 2 Akim. So, Shalom, Kahalayim La, Yahaba Shem Yahshua Bashem Kakudash, double honest to and apostles, Thali Yahshua for the strength and also make this video. And Yaratas are that this video is also seen as encouragement, man, for Yakim to keep going. So Shalom.